Update: wife cheated and turned lesbian after 15 years, now claims she made a big mistake. Original post. For the last month, I've been going through all kinds of grief. My high school sweetheart cheated, told me she was now in a relationship with a woman for the last month, and that it had been ongoing for the last 3 months. Leading up to this, she was going through a major mental health crisis. It was her cousin's death anniversary, and she started expressing feelings of ending herself. I helped her through it as best as I could, but her friends kept encouraging her to go out, drink, and sing karaoke. Soon she started coming home at 7 a.m., and sometimes not at all. We have 3 small children, 4, 5, and 7. For 12 days straight, I took care of them while they literally thought their mom was dead. On the days she did come home, she would cold shoulder me, then leave again at 10:30 at night. If that isn't ugly enough, it gets worse. For the last 15 years, and specifically the last month, she has been blaming me for all her emotions. She has been trying to break up with me, then standing in front of the door and not letting me leave. She has made me feel like I'm not enough during our entire relationship. Eventually, it got to the point where I told her I was going to withhold love from her, that I was going to stop saying I love you, stop looking her in the eyes, and only be a bit vulnerable with her. I told her it was up to her to foster a loving relationship by committing to me. The longest she could go was 6 months before trying to kick me out again. Her reasons always changed. By the end of every fight, she'd come back, apologize, then try to have sex with me. She'd tell me, "Please love me now. My craziness is over." I didn't mean it. I'd reluctantly cuddle her and assure her that I could get through this constant abandonment. When things would get smoother, I'd try to love her better. I'd handcraft cards, tell her I loved her, make videos for her, and talk to her all night. It gets even uglier. Currently, she has told everyone in her life, and even convinced her therapist, that she is the victim. That if I loved her correctly, she would never need to cheat. That her heart was so desperate for love that anyone could have swooped her up. The ugliest part, I moved 2 hours away from family and friends so she could secure her dream job and be 5 minutes away from her parents. I became a stay-at-home dad while working remotely. Both my parents were drug addicted and devastated my childhood. My grandma adopted me at 7 and saved my life. So I always vowed to take care of my children no matter what. Currently, she is on a work trip in a different city with her girlfriend. Weekly, she goes on late-night dates for alcohol-fueled sex with her new partner. During all of this, she still comes home and tries to have sex with me. At least 5 times, she's told me she's not sure she wants to leave me fully and that she'd like an open relationship. I've told her no, but the pain of not having her is killing me, so I routinely let her back in. Last night, we cuddled, nearly kissed, and she insisted on sex, but I said no. For now, I can't bear to abandon my children. They love me, and I love them. So I have to stay home, watch my wife come back with hickeys all over her body, and take care of the children. I'm dying. I'm desperate, and I'm 90% certain I'm joining the army to get over this pain. But in reality, I just want her to miss me. I want to find a strong remote job so I can be close to my kids and afford a $200K home nearby. That is my dream. Thanks for listening to my rant. It feels good to put this into words. If you have any questions or insight, please let me know, as I know I'm not a perfect person and may have caused some of this myself. Reading the top comments before the update. If you think at least the 7-year-old doesn't have an inkling something is going on, you're wrong. You should want better for yourself and your kids. Stop letting her pick you up and put you down whenever she's ready. If you want your life to be different, you're the only one who can give it to yourself, but you owe it to your kids. But how? Do I leave and live in the city 2 hours away? I'd get a decent job and see the kids on the weekend, but I'm their rock. I'm their emotional support. I do all the play and fun activities. I know in my heart they would forever feel lonely without me being a constant in their lives. So take them with you? I was supposed to play professional basketball overseas prior to having our first. Once we had him, I moved out here and barely make enough to cover my expenses. She has her dream job and owns the home. All I own is a vehicle. If I had more financial stability, I would 100% go for full custody. Maybe I just have to start a business and make it happen. OP, I'm not understanding why you wouldn't think you'd be the primary parent. You work from home and are with your children 100% of the time. She's the absent parent while living in the same house. You said for a 12-day period they thought she was dead. If anything, she would have to pay a good portion of child support and you'd move back home near family. Prior to all this she was okay. She'd cook for the family most nights. Plans the doctor appointments, schedules their after-school activities. She was a good mother. They love her. This new behavior is highly toxic, but I believe if I was gone she'd move her new girlfriend in and continue to be a good parent again. I think she just wanted to get rid of me, and the only way she could was by falling for someone else. I did everything on her list, so she really couldn't find a way to leave me. She wasn't brave enough to just tell me she doesn't love me and let me walk. She had to blow everything up so I could become the villain. Update. So about 2 weeks ago, she and I had a wedding trip to the Philippines for her cousin. She told me she was canceling my ticket because we were no longer together. Fast forward to mid-trip, she calls me crying, saying how badly she had messed things up and how the trip gave her so much clarity. She asked me if I still loved her and whether I could ever forgive her. Then she told me she used my ticket and gave it to her affair partner. She said it was one of the worst trips of her life and that she realized she's not a lesbian and doesn't want to be around this girl anymore. She looked at the price of cutting her trip short because she said she wanted to be with her family and make things right. She came home. Before we saw each other, I called her on the phone and said, "Is it really over? Do you really want this with me? 100%? Because you can walk all over me and go back to her, what am I going to do? You know I'm not going to hit you or kill you. All I'm going to do is be hurt, and you've shown you can do that without pause." She said no, that she was here 100% and wanted this more than anything. The first day together, we had sex, cuddled, and she told me all her realizations. 6 hours in, she started crying about her breakup. We stayed up until 5 a.m. talking about everything except how she made me feel. She didn't beg for forgiveness. She talked about how much her affair partner drank, how many games she would play, how she was getting other women's Snapchats while they were together in the Philippines. I sensed this wasn't over. She said she wanted to cut contact but didn't know how. I tried to be nice and told her she could do it slow or fast. If she was truly back with me, it shouldn't matter. The next day, she came home and started saying she was sad because her affair partner's parents were very spiritual, and she wanted to find her spiritual side. I told her that was silly, she could find spirituality in hundreds of other communities. She started crying and walked away, saying I wasn't a safe space for her to talk about anything. I told her I could sense this wasn't over and that she was just trying to convince herself to go back to her. We argued. We put the kids to sleep. She came out, and her best friend called her, saying they planned to return from Philippines party and the guest of honor wasn't there. I told her she could go, expecting she wouldn't. She went. At 1 a.m., I called her and asked if she was sleeping there. She said yes. I told her how disappointed I was that she'd put me through all that again, that it was over between us, and that I was an idiot for trusting her. She was in the car picking up beer at the time, so she wasn't drunk. She decided to stay there until the next day. She came home at noon. The next day, I brought a joint for us to smoke and offered it as a peace treaty. I told her I was going to leave no matter what, I just wanted peace until then. We started arguing mid-joint. She wouldn't admit that she had an affair. She started spiraling, trying to escape the conversation, telling me I was making her feel like she was going to have a panic attack. All I was doing was trying to break down what an affair is and how she was definitely in one. She absolutely would not admit it. Then, in anger, she blurted out, "The difference between you and the kids is I love the kids unconditionally." I started crying and walked away. She came back and tried to clarify that she did love me. We put the kids to bed. I came out of the room, and she was freshly showered and walking out the door. I told her, if I was trying to convince someone that I love them, the last thing I'd do is leave the house to go see my affair partner. I'd stay and try to convince them. "You don't love me," she said, "I don't need your permission to see her," and walked out the door. I stayed up until 6 a.m. taking care of the children, who all had periods of crying. She came home. I told her I'm moving out this Friday, and we have to tell the kids by Wednesday. She said, "Can you think about therapy with me first?" and left. She came back home after work, and I told her no therapy, I'm leaving. She was bummed and started playing sad music around the house. I'm viewing apartments tomorrow and should be leaving by December 1st or November 15th. I have no money and a crappy job. My kids say things to me every day that break my heart, but I'm moving forward no matter what. Clearly, I didn't listen to all of you, my family, my friends, and I got screwed. This has exposed how truly weak I became. But I will rise above. I've always been a winner until I met her. With her gone, I will be the best version of myself, and I know it. Holy crap, dude, you gave her way too many chances. Don't let her walk all over you like that. She's also clearly unstable. Get custody of the kids if you can. Can you stay with any family? Good luck, bro. I have been doing research on waywards for 8+ years. If you flake, beg, or fold any time before they cut the affair partner off and willingly choose reconciliation, they aren't reconciling. They're testing their options. And the more you fold, the less they respect you. If your child stole a cookie every day and the only consequences were temporary, non-impactful ones, the child would just keep stealing cookies, eventually getting angry when you finally intervened. That's your wife and cheating. The psychology is the same. You never did anything meaningful or concrete, so in her head there has been no reason to believe stopping the cheating benefits her. As far as she's concerned, nothing about her life is changing. All she has to do is argue OP down or dismiss his feelings with made-up reasoning. Which is what she's doing. There's no end goal because this is her new normal. And being unwilling to impose meaningful consequences, expulsion from the home, exposure, divorce proceedings, etc., means we are likely past the point she's going to walk it back. Walking away is the best bet, but actually do something about it. Better she is shamed than you are. Once I moved out, I'm thinking of making an everyday vlog that showcases strength through adversity. I feel it'll keep me accountable, plus it'll call her out to our friends and family. She has been telling everyone what an awful person I am so she appears innocent. I feel like that exposure is petty, but I want people to know what she has done. Is that going too far on the exposure side of things? She is using you and her affair partner. Yeah, internally she's a 9-year-old girl trying to keep everything. She wants me for the good family feels and her affair partner for the new intimacy. She gets mad and asks, why do we have to follow the way the world works? Why can't we have an open relationship? I have feelings for both of you. I just laughed. She's delusional. The world is full of amazing, kind, considerate, beautiful women you could build an incredible life with. I don't believe this is one of them. OP, you seem like you have a good heart, don't let her take advantage of that. It'll be so much easier in the long term if you walk away now. Try for full custody, and protect your children best you can. Good luck for the future. I hope so. But I'm scared that I'm the problem, that I seek out damaged partners I think I can fix. I need to grow so I stop attracting these types, but it seems that's what I want. I could have a beautiful soul in front of me, but it doesn't ignite me like the girl who doesn't give me attention but shows interest. I've got to change and understand my own traumas so I can be attracted to, and attract, the type of women you're talking about. Next story. I found out my girlfriend was cheating in probably the dumbest, most random way possible. We'd been together for almost 3 years. We lived together, split the bills, and even shared a joint credit card for groceries and small day-to-day things. I handled most of the finances since I'm better with money management. Everything seemed solid, comfortable, dependable, at least that's what I thought. A few weeks ago, I got a notification from the credit card app about a charge from a restaurant I didn't recognize. Normally, I wouldn't think twice about it. We sometimes bought lunch or coffee separately. But this one caught my attention. It was dinner for two at a place she and I had just talked about trying together. It seemed odd that she went there without mentioning it. That night, I casually asked about it, and she told me she'd gone out with some co-workers after work. Her explanation sounded reasonable, and I tried to brush off the uneasy feeling in my gut. Then, a few days later, another charge popped up. Same restaurant. Similar amount. This time, it was on her day off. I stared at the screen longer than I should have, my stomach sinking. I didn't confront her immediately. Instead, I quietly scrolled through the statements and started noticing a pattern: more random charges at cafes, bars, and restaurants near her office. Places we'd never gone together. When I finally sat her down to talk, I didn't even get halfway through my first sentence before she started crying. That's when she confessed. She admitted she'd been seeing someone from work for a few months, said it just happened, and that she didn't mean to hurt me. I sat there stunned, trying to process her words, her tears, and the sheer absurdity of it all. The part that broke me wasn't even the affair itself, it was realizing I'd been paying off every single one of those charges. All those dinners, drinks, and little outings, they were on our shared card. I'd unknowingly been funding her dates with someone else. She moved out last week. I canceled the joint card and divided everything cleanly, down to the last cent. I opened a new account, just mine this time, and got a Fizz card to rebuild my own finances. But no matter how organized I make things, I can't shake the feeling that I helped finance my own heartbreak. Every transaction feels like a receipt for the trust I lost. Wow, she is really dumb to use a joint credit card for her affair. I take it the affair partner doesn't have deep pockets, lol. Also a bit stupid to pay for her lover. I bet he was not long out of college. Was she that desperate to get laid? Yeah, no doubt, stamina but no earning potential. She will be calling you back. Coworker romances don't last. Don't take her back. Not exciting when you have to wash their socks and clean the toilet after them, as well as humiliating her partner. The coworker has probably gone through half the females at his office. Looks like she missed her prime marrying age as well, so she has to start again. What a shame for the slot. It doesn't just happen over a 2-month period. Many things happened over that time. Never meant to hurt you means she never meant for you to find out, until or unless the new guy panned out. Then you'd find out as she's moving out. Crossing boundaries has consequences. If they're not enforced, boundaries are meaningless and your girlfriend loses what little respect she had for you altogether. The harsh reality is your ex-GF has proven she is not girlfriend/marriage material. Get tested for STDs. Best of luck.